Hi everyone. So first I would like to introduce myself as my name is Dr. Vijay Bhaskar Reddy, Associate Professor in the Department of Chemistry, H&S Department. So I am handling environmental science subject. Today we are going to discuss about the environmental impact assessment. So in this today overview of the today lecture is in the environmental impact assessment, first screening of the activity planned and scoping of the activity, that project, and what are the baseline data required for that project are related to the environmental impact, and environmental impact statement finally prepared based on the different parameters. So environmental impact assessment. What is the environmental impact assessment? Generally the definition is the environmental impact assessment is a procedure to plan any developmental activity. For example, we are going to construct a big dam. So means first to take the clearance from the environmental impact assessment. What are that is the procedure. What procedure you are following? What are the steps you are following? So that procedure to plan the developmental activity with well-defined environmental goals. So, environmental goals. So that activity both during the developmental stage or in the production stage. Minimum impact on natural system and the population in the area is called the environmental impact assessment. So means this is the procedure. That procedure either during the developmental stage or production stage, minimum impact on the natural system and population in that particular area. So what are the procedure following? That is called the environmental impact assessment. Here is what are the major goals for the environmental impact assessment? The first one is that to fulfill the responsibilities towards the coming generations as a trustee of the environment. So for example, if a plant the developmental activity in a particular place, in that place is a completely remove the whatever is the agriculture related, forest related, deforestation, is the future generations will be suffered. So means to fulfill the responsibilities towards the coming generations as a trustees of environment. The second one, to assure safe and healthy, productive as well as culturally pleasant surroundings. That also coming under the goal of the environmental impact assessment. To provide widest range of beneficial uses of environment without degradation or risk to the health. When you plan the development activity in a particular place, the beneficial uses to the environment without degradation. So environment will be, there is no degradation or less degradation takes place only, and risk to health also very less. Then only that developmental activity plan in that particular area. To preserve historical, cultural and natural heritage only. So these are also very important consider for goals in the environmental impact assessment. To achieve a balance between the population and resource use for good of living. For example, a population rapidly increasing. So we are using for the lot of natural resources, either water resources, food resources, energy resources. These are all will be more utilizing, means imbalance will be takes place is the population and the resources. Then is the living for the human beings are problem are coming. So that is also is a maintain the balance between the population and natural resources. To ensure sustainability development with minimum environmental degradation. So that also is coming to the goal of the environmental impact assessment. So environmental impact assessment is nothing but a procedure when you plan to the developmental activity in a particular place. So that will be during the developmental stage or production stage. So minimum impact on the natural system and human related to the activities. That is called the environmental impact assessment. Now coming to the what are the steps will be involved in the environmental impact assessment. The first one is the screening and the second one is the scoping. The screening means whether the project activity planned that needs the environmental assessment, impact assessment clearance required or not. Not all activities. For example, that will be must. For example, a activity planned more than 100 crores of the project, then only you must plan take the clearance. from the environmental impact assessment. For example, a simple one, construction, simple buildings, not coming under the environmental impact assessment. More than 100 crores when the developmental activity will be planned, either dams construction, a rivers is the stop the rivers, or the big dams are constructing. So more than 100 crores in the developmental activity planned. That activity is coming to the environmental clearance only. So prohibited areas where the generally developmental projects not allowed. So environment, as for the environmental impact assessment, is the prohibited areas. What are the prohibited areas? Some of the coastal regulation zone, some of the hilly ranges, reserve forest. These are areas not providing for the developmental activities. So means that areas will be prohibited, not giving the permission for the environmental impact, environmental purpose. Second one is after screening of that one. Second parameter is the scoping. The scoping means here is the involves in the determination of the extent EIA is required for the project or not. So in that one, depending of the project or activity, there are two types of environmental impact assessment is required. First one is the based on the whatever is the rapid EIA. So means here is the first one is the project proposal or developmental activity proposal. First one is the screening. Screening means that will be coming to the either environmental impact clearance or not. If not means leave it that one. Is the second one is the scoping. Scoping means is the first one is the either rapid EIA or comprehensive EIA or EIA exempted. It means that is the not required environmental impact assessment. Like first one, there are EIA report is based on the single season data. For example, the data collected is a single season, either summer season data or winter season data or other season data. Only single season data collected, that is called the rapid EIA, other than monsoon area. So only one season data collected for the EIA giving the environmental impact assessment is coming to the rapid EIA. So that is the rapid EIA. So second one is the whatever complete detailed seasonal data. All seasonal data will be collected in the throughout year, whatever the seasons are there, all seasons data collected. So that coming to the comprehensive environmental impact assessment. Some of the whatever activity there is not required for the environmental assessment also, so that will be exempted. So mainly there are two will be there, rapid EIA and comprehensive EIA. So comprehensive EIA means all seasonal data will be collected and put together, and based on that data environmental impact assessment will be next step. And the third thing is the baseline data acquisition or baseline data collection. In this baseline data giving the picture of the overall environmental impacts assessment, project location showing the significant prior to the intimation. So baseline data is the basic reference important for the environmental impact assessment. So now we can go to what is the baseline data. So here is the baseline data. In the next slide we discuss that one. First one is the impact assessment, impact identification. Impact identification include the detailed of the project characters. So what are the project related characteristics are there, and baseline environmental characters. So baseline environmental characters means in the environment air related, water related, topography, climatology, different is a rock system in the soil material, soil related. These are all coming under the base environmental characteristics and project characteristics. Once these two will be detailed information, then the identification of the full range of the environmental impacts only. So first is the whatever the project is the characters and baseline data characters. Baseline data characters means is a coming the lot of environmental related parameters are coming, that will be discussed in the next slide. So means based on that only impact identification will be happen. If these two data will be not correlated, a lot of impact will be generated. So based on these two only, how much impacted will be producing. So that is called the impact prediction and evaluation. Now coming to the baseline data. So once the baseline data impact evaluation will be identified, considering the cost, majorly cost and benefits of the project, either the long term projects and side effects are there, project also evaluated. So after the impact identified, evaluated, and then take the step is the mitigation. So mitigation measurements will be must you take the, what is the mitigation means, once the impacts are predicted. So these impacts are coming when the developmental activity will be planned in that particular area. Immediately after evaluation, so mitigation measures are to be suggested to avoid. So once the mitigation suggested to avoid and reduce or rectify the adverse changes. Any major adverse problems are coming, immediately you inform that particular area, either human beings or agriculture related or whatever is the climate related or soil related, you must take the precaution steps and reduce or rectify the adverse changes due to the project point of view. That is called the mitigation. Mitigation means after the impact predicted and evaluated, and then mitigation measurements will be takes place. So that reduce the severity of that one. After these are all the steps, so then the draft the environmental impact statement. So environmental impact statement means is the based on the data obtained and review suggestions of the final EIA prepared as per the format of the given by the Ministry of Environment. So whatever the all rapid EIA, baseline data, impact identification, impact prediction and evaluation and mitigation measures, these are all will be compiled to write a statement based on the given format by the Ministry of Environment. That is called the whatever environmental impact statement. So after collecting the data and compile and write is called the environmental impact statement. So after this one, so here is the baseline data. What is the baseline data? We are collecting that one. Here is the baseline information as a very important reference point for conducting the environmental impact assessment. Because here is the baseline reference, the collection of background of the information on the either biophysical and social related economic problems when propose a project in a particular area. So for example, a dam is constructed to a particular area. For example, in that area you check the biophysical parameters. What are the biophysical parameters are related to that, suitable or not, and social related, that is the what are the social economical related, that place is the economical or not, more cost or less cost, that economical related also is checking, and when planned that proposed project in that particular area. So an environmental baseline study is an investigation conducted to establish the level of the contaminants. This information is very important for the proposed project. So these are the next parameters we check during the baseline data. These data will be collected. So developmental activities have impacted on their different environmental components. So for example, when the developmental activity we planned is the first one is the land features include topography, is the climatology related data you must collect it. So like a temperature, how much temperature will be there, humidity will be there, how much rainfall will be there, more throughout the year rain is coming or only some seasonal rains are coming, floods are coming. These are all the temperature, high temperature is there that particular area, low temperature is there, humidity is there. These are all whatever is the parameters will be related to the topography, collected the data when you are plan the developmental activity in particular place. Geology and hydrology related, lithology and the rock formations, in that is the whatever earth crust, what type of rocks will be formation happen, drainage pattern system, and groundwater table. Is a groundwater table will be decreasing means ground substance will be increasing slowly. So means based on the groundwater table also, so this developmental activity will be planned in that particular area. Air environment, the study of the different air related composition like a sulfur related oxides, nitrogen related oxides, carbon related oxides, and suspended particulate matter. SPM means is the suspended particulate matter. Suspended particulate matter. particulate matter. So means there are different types of SPM is there, is 10 mic, 5, 2.5 mic, different size of the particulate matter will be available in the air. That also is a major causing for the these parameters must consider that one. Is a noise environment. You check the how much noise levels will be there when the developmental activity in the surroundings. So water environment, water parameters like a pH and a total dissolved salts, fluorine content, dissolved oxygen, biological oxygen demand in that particular area water containing, is the soil quality analysis. So mainly this soil quality analysis reflects the presence of either nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, zinc, and iron, manganese, aluminium. These are all the soil containing the elements. You check the soil quality parameters, that soil is suitable for this developmental activity or not. So based on this checking baseline data only, you go for the environmental impact statement. All data will be compiled, then only you go for that developmental activity in that particular place. Flora and fauna. So means plants and animals proposed area, all the plants and animals. For example, a deforest area. So that deforest will be required or not. Developmental activity. Lot of animals also will be extinct happen when the developmental activity planned that particular area. Socio-economic study also impacted the literacy rate, category of the workers, cultivators, agriculture laborers, medical facilities. These are all the socio-economic related also study during the developmental activity planned in that particular place. So these are all together is called the baseline data collected information. So once this baseline data will be collected, that will be compiled with the project parameters. So based these two, after compilation, you write the environmental impact statement. Based on the environmental impact statement and submit to the Ministry of the Environment. Because these are the different human resources, whatever socio-economic status related coming is the same. The previous slide explained that one. So here is the whatever the environmental impact statement. So finally, what the environmental impact statement is coming. Environmental impact statement prepared by the project at the time of submission of the proposal, which known as the draft EIS, environmental impact statement. So means when the project will be submission or preparing is the draft EIS producing after evaluation and review by the impact assessment agency. So first you propose the developmental activity in a particular place at the time of the submission of the proposal, and that is called the draft environmental impact statement. So after is the agency people, that particular agency people coming, that evaluation and reviewing, and final environmental impact statement will be prepared. So here is the some of the key parameters will be involved. The following points are usually incorporated when the preparing the environmental impact statement. These are all will be considered when we are preparing the environmental impact statement. Final that one. So effect on land and including the land degradation and substance. So that consider will be the land means is the soil quality parameters, you check it, either nitrogen, potassium, magnesium or zinc. These are all soil related parameters must check. That is the land including, and degradation and substance is the water level also, is the ground level substance also check it. If the more ground level substance will be increasing, is the whatever layers of the will be damaging. Deforestation and compensation of afforestation. So means is that deforestation is required or not. That also compensatory also included in that environmental impact statement. For example, if the deforestation will be required, so how much we are damage the forest. So compensatory, any that will be replaced particular place. So compensatory also we see it. Air pollution and dispersion along with the possible health benefits. Water pollution including surface and groundwater pollution. So during the when we are preparing the environmental impact statement, so we must consider as the air pollution and water pollution related. particular area. Noise pollution due to the project, loss of plants and animals during the construction of that project also. Socio-economic related impacts including displacement of the native people. When we are planning to the a project in particular place, is how many people will be lost their homes, and socio-economic related life and cultural loss, health aspects, these are all will be considered, and mitigation measurements must be taken when you are preparing the environmental impact statement. Risk analysis and disaster management planned. When the developmental activity planned and any disasters are coming, that project also mentioned in the environmental impact statement. Recycling and reduction of the waste in that particular areas, mostly reducing and recycling the wastes of that one. Efficient use of inputs including the energy and matter. So efficient energy will be utilized during that particular areas, that one. These are all points will be considered when you are preparing the environmental impact statement. So these are the environmental impact assessment. So in this lecture we discussed about the environmental impact assessment. Is the different parameters will be involved in that one. Screening, scoping, rapid EIA is a comprehensive EIA, baseline data, environmental impact statement, how to prepare, how to compile the baseline data with the project characters for environmental impact statement, how finally prepared, what are the parameters required when you are preparing the environmental impact statement. These are all today we will learn in this lecture. So in the next lecture we discussed about the sustainability development and their goals. Thanking you.